So I'm extremely excited about the new Sony A95k, and which means what I'm about to share next is going to be a very big contradiction to that. And so in my last video that I did, I talked about how exciting the new technology is for the A95k, and I still believe that. However, we're going to talk about the 5 reasons you should not buy the Sony A95k. I want to try to keep it short and sweet, and so let's jump right into it. So reason number 1, it is untested. The new QD-OLED technology is extremely exciting. This will be the largest shakeup in television technology, in my opinion, since the OLED first began. However, much like the micro-LED technology that came out a few years ago, QD-OLED is still coming out with an insanely big pair of shoes to fill. Now, the science behind the technology is sound. This new version should improve, over the current OLED models. However, the claims of 200% brightness or, the increase in color saturation and things like that have yet to be tested by third-party reviewers or professionals, if you will. The problem with the statistics are that they're exactly that. They're based on a sample size, and no one with a decent business acumen is going to base their statistics on the current market leader. So they're not comparing this to the LG Evo panel, right? They're probably comparing it to the standard, LG display that's been sold out into the market, if you will. So until we see concrete benchmarks and scores and numbers to suggest the actual performance of the panel, let's hold off just a little bit. Reason number 2, it's still an OLED. It's still susceptible to image retention or burn-in, as you all call it. The possibilities of this are still there. Now, does the way that the panel produces color is different. The way that it produces the whites is different. But at the end of the day, the technology is still an OLED technology, and it's vulnerable to that image retention. However, I will put this disclaimer out there, as you all know, that I'm an avid OLED gamer, and I believe in OLED technology, the most. And with that being said, the current techniques that they have in place to protect that panel are definitely top notch, and you have to literally abuse your panel to even, see that image retention. And this is coming from somebody that uses a 48-inch LG CX OLED ever since it released as a daily driver for my PC monitor. And I did a video on that. I'll post it in the link below in the body of the description. Reason number 3, there is an aggressive pre-launch strategy of very selected and selective reviewers who have been able to do on-site or hands-on reviews of this television, if you will. Usually, when a company like Sony, LG, Samsung, of that stature, they will release their, notes, their keynotes, and they'll release their, presentations at CES at the beginning of the year. And then they'll trickle out little, things, from there, right, to kind of build the intrigue and build the market, right? There's 2 sides of the coin on this one. Now, on the one side, with it being a completely brand new technology, and in my opinion, one that could potentially be the largest change in television technology in the last 10 years, it makes sense for Sony to be out here doing the pre-market, pre-launch type rollout, right? On the other side of the coin, it's very selective. It is very few people that have been able to touch this. It is also very generic, broad, and not keyword based, releases that they've been sharing so far. 200% brighter, right? Again, with no actual analysis of comparative analysis of any of the top televisions that are on the market right now. Just very, very broad, and it feels non-organic. It feels forced, and it feels like, let's get in front of this thing before the actual numbers come out. And sometimes it feels like they're avoiding the truth. For instance, Digital Trends did a video, and he was like, 1,000 nits brightness. It should hit 1,000 nits brightness. Is it brighter than it should be type thing, right? And so here's the thing with that. There is already an OLED panel, the LG Evo, which I believe is 798, I think, peak brightness or something like that. You even have some of the Rogue Asus televisions saying that they're going to hit 900 nits brightness. And so kind of deceiving and misleading, if you will. Reason number 4, reason number 4 is a big one. The price. The price is going to be astronomically high. Now, if any indication of Sony's reward program is accurate, the 55-inch is going to be $3,000 and the 65-inch is going to be $4,000. Now, with that being said, it is not easy for a company the size of Sony to change the way that their rewards program works just because someone has leaked that information. There is marketing teams, technology teams, product management teams, online content engineering teams that have to change those different things. Application, they're just not going to be able to change it. So you can almost take it with the definitive answer that 55-inch is going to be $3,000 and the 65-inch is going to be $4,000. With that being said, you can buy the LG 65-inch C1 and an LG 55-inch C1 for $4,000, or you can buy the 48-inch. Swap those out. Does it make sense to buy a television for $4,000 when you can buy top of the line, in my opinion, still the best OLED on the market until proven different, C1, and you can buy 2 of them for that same price? That's kind of a head scratcher there. My number 5 reason, and most logical and common sense reason, is that you do not need it. At the end of the day, you don't need this television. And what I mean by that is that most television panels, you never actually use all of the capacity of the screen. You never really get to use all of the colors, all of those things of the screen. And the reason is because that built-in store mode video that plays to show you the stream capabilities of the television, you never actually get to recreate that in your normal television use. And the reason is because your standard cable company will broadcast their television in 1080p, and then you have your paid streaming services, which is like Netflix and Disney. They'll do your 4K, Ultra HD, and they'll even do Dolby Digital, HDR10 Plus, whatever the particular, technology is. But they limit their bit rate, and so you never actually get all of the data to reproduce that actual picture, and that's why it will look pixelated or kind of flat or different things like that, even though you're watching Dolby Digital. The only way to get full on video production quality of that television is to use a Blu-ray disc, a 4K Ultra Blu-ray disc with all of the information on that disc. Outside of that, you will never ever use the full quality of the video that is playing at the beginning of that at the store demo, the ones that everyone shows and all of that. If you got $4,000, $3,000 and it's not a problem, then yeah, buy the television, because it potentially may be the best of the best for now. But if you have to weigh your options, or if you have to, purchase sensibly, or you do research before you buy, just wait till some of those numbers come out before you even think about doing that. And then, lastly, wait to see some of the real reviews before you spend that money. But that's all for me. I'm looking forward to the conversation and the debate in the comment section below. Are you going to pick this up, or are you going to wait for the numbers? Are you early adopter? Like, kind of where do you sit on this one? But as always, stay cozy in that crazy world, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.